Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to another episode of the Diaspora Global Panel. But before we proceed, let's go ahead and have our intro. Yes, thank you. Thank you. You are welcome to today's episode. Jude, Tony, I'm very delighted to have you on today's show. And I'm sure we are ready to go to give our viewers, our audience, a beautiful, beautiful show. How are you guys doing today?
Great.
Great. Thank you, Kunle. Thank you, Tony. I'm delighted to be here tonight.
Yeah.
Wonderful week. Yeah.
You are welcome.
Yes. We have a lot of interesting story for our viewers today. We'll start with the gubernatorial election that happened today in Ekiti. You know, Ekiti 2022, the results are trickling in, and feelers coming from our correspondents in Ekiti is that the APC is actually having a strong showing. There is no indication of who is going to win, but we just know that the APC's candidate, Biodun Oyebanji, is having a strong showing, and he has assured his supporters of victory. Yeah, we heard today that there were allegations of vote buying. And why this is so interesting is because, we are seeing a lot of advert, a lot of sponsored, awareness programs on Facebook, on Instagram, on social media, about, people getting their PVC and people not engaging in vote buying. But unfortunately, reading through the, news on social media and even watching channels, I realized that there are still allegations of vote buying in today's election. Jude, what do you have to say about this?
Allegations of low vote buying. Wow. Well, we have seen from the primaries how money has been displayed. And well, it will not, for me, it will not surprise me. People are desperate to be in the office. And people are hungry. People need money. And anything you throw at them at this moment, they will take it up. They need it. They need the money. But the fact is this: are they really, when they get the money, are they really going to vote for that particular candidate that gave them money? That is one thing I don't know. What I'm going to ask here is the counting of the voters, if the counting of the ballot box, is it going to be straightforward? Is it going to be open? That's more interesting to me. We want to see real declaration of results as they've been voted. Let it be declared as people vote without any rigging.
Without any rigging.
Yeah, because if that really shows us what the result is, because people collect money because they're hungry. We don't really know what choice they choose. But if we have the real figure as they come in and not tampered, then we say, yeah, whatever happens, people are hungry. People vote buying is part of it, but you can't change it. When someone has won the election, you won the election. That's the Nigerian way. So I just hope we are going to learn from this, because 2023 is the main thing we are looking at. Yeah. That's the main point, and we're going to use this one to correct the anomalies of next year.
Yeah. Thank you. That's a wonderful thing. And the fact that it's even coming from the candidate of the SDP, Segun Oni, who has a strong showing in his word, because I watched the result live on Facebook. He scored about 240 something, while the closest, the APC candidate, scored 20 some or something. He had a strong showing in his polling booths, and he is very, very strong. The SDP candidate Shegun, and this is him saying, listen, there is, vote buying. Even the candidate of PDP, BC Kolawole, also alleged to the same thing. And I watched on channels and on other Arise, news media saying that, people were paid for, people's votes were bought for as little as 500 naira. Tony, is that not shocking?
Kunle, it's nice being around today. I think whoever watched the presidential nomination will not be shocked. Nigerian democratic system has not changed, and miracle will not happen. We will, all of us, watch with dismay how the presidential nominees paid out millions or billions out there. So, in a local election like in Ekiti State, whoever is raising alarm, that is the modus operandi of Nigerian politicians. Oftentimes, the allegation may be real. On the other hand, when they are losing, they must allege allegation. When they are winning, there is no buying of votes. And that's why some people are worried that the current mass exodus to get the PVC, when they get it, are they going to use it correctly?
Are they going to use it correctly?
Because
Are they not going to use it as a bargaining chip to say,
not
oh,
only
give
that,
me money, give me money and I vote,
Not only that, the social system many Nigerians are going through,
Yeah.
they should not be blamed for for putting food. To them, it's a way of putting food on the table.
Thank you.
The people you even elected 2014, up to now, they are in governance. Have they done anything differently? So they create this a scenario whereby people, after what happened or what they received today, not based on their promise, because those who promised them and failed, nobody punished them. But that is not a way of saying that one support sale of their votes or PVC. The issue is that this thing is happening early in the process, and it gives INEC a good reason to see how they will change the system when the real election comes on board. Because every time we know that most of the election results that we have during most elections are usually not the authentic results, because Nigerian politicians, they are professionals in rigging. And unless INEC with the security outfit sit up and make sure that the votes are defended, we just keep on hoping that God will assist us.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. I think I share your point, and I'm actually, I'm actually embracing the same line of thought that you have just shared, because the social system is so bad that you can't blame anyone, for mortgaging their franchise, but we have to keep on saying it, just to let them know that it's not because of you, it's because of your kids and your unborn generation that will suffer if we continue like this. We have to figure out a way of electing, reputable, competent hands in our electoral offices. You see, there was an allegation that the Labour Party collapsed, a structure, to ensure the emergence of the APC candidate, Biodun Oyebanji. We don't know how far this is true. However, the allegation is there. And from all indication, the Labour Party is not having a strong showing. Could that be an indication of, the fact that, yes, maybe this really happened? And probably the Labour Party collapsed the structure so that, there wouldn't be stiff competition against the APC. Some form of alliance there. Anyway, let's just move on. Let's move on to the rush for the vice presidential candidate of this party. And we are seeing that the candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, and Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the candidate of the APC, both of them actually picked a standby or a stand-in. Or you called it, Tony, what did you call it?
Placeholder.
A placeholder. Because I think, negotiations are still ongoing, and then possibly, they have not figured out who should be the VP. So they just have somebody, an interim person that will just fill in the gap for them to meet the June 17 deadline set by INEC. Tony, let me first ask you, do you think, what is the rush? Why do you think INEC put such pressure on these political parties?
Yeah, you can understand that with the crop of presidential nominees most of the parties have, the opposition party sometimes we are thrown into confusion. So all they need to do is alliance and realliance. And in the course of doing that, having nominated a presidential nominee, the post of the running mate is always a good way to compensate whoever you are realigning with. The Labour Party, for example, it's like the structure are not yet everywhere because of the emergence of P2B as their presidential nominee. So there's a lot going on, which is not new to Nigerians because in 2014, that's how a lot of smaller parties realigned themselves and then ended up producing the current president. So the INEC wanted to be sure. INEC wanted to be sure that these people play by the rule, and they don't want lapses because if you have a situation where you have probably any person coming up at any time with a running mate, we will not meet all the schedule. So the best bet is that we should give them opportunity because they are new to each other. They need to study and know who is who. Who are you aligning with? Yes. And from the way it's going, they are fighting for regional votes. If Atiku knows so well now, for example, that he has picked a southeasterner, and now he knows that how to fight for the votes of the southeast. The south. Let's just assume south, and south east. So the other party on themselves, they have to be sure. Tinubu want to be sure that the kind of person after alliance with some other smaller political parties who will pull enough weight in the north. Okay. The same thing with Labour Party. They know for sure that if Peter be a southerner is their presidential nominee, for them to succeed, they must rally around and pick a northerner. Because any attempt for them to the presidential nominee and the running mate to be south, that will be dead on arrival.
Yes.
So they know what is going on and they know the way out. That's why there are some placeholder in place to obey INEC and I still have opportunity to get in the right person.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Jude, Jude, we know that the APC picked a Katsina APC chieftain, Ibrahim Kabir Masari, as the placeholder. And Peter Obi picked Donyin Okukwe, Chief Donyin Okukwe, as a placeholder as well, a standing VP, pending I think the merger between the Kwankuso's NNPP party. So I think we know who is going to be, I think 70 to 80%, we know who is going to be Peter Obi's VP. But who is going to be Tinubu's VP is still not, we are still not sure. We are still not certain, because there are lots of rumors that 3 governors in the north are jostling for that post. So this now, leads to this, because it seems Atiku is more organized. The PDP has been extremely organized. They had their convention, the first convention sorted. They picked a VP candidate, no placeholder, no standing, no standby. In Okowa, you see Ifeanyi Okowa, the governor of Delta State, if I am right. I think that the PDP has been extremely organized. What do you have to say to this? And vis-a-vis what you can see happening in the APC and the Labour Party.
Right. Well, you said the PDP is more organized. I will agree a little bit on that, because they have been actually delivering at meeting up time. But this point of choosing a device VP is a struggling one for the PDP, because I believe that the PDP would have projected somebody, would have been looking for somebody from the Southeast, particularly. But in that regard, they couldn't get someone there because of the P2B issue.
Yeah.
And the Southeasterner will not be so happy, not willing to accept him. So he has to go to the South. So PDP is still struggling on that. But they have to deliver somebody to meet the deadline. So it looks as if they are more organized. But I believe me, they are still struggling, because the chance of a COA from the South will not be the preferred option for the PDP. As much as you know that even the Deltans don't so much align with Okowa. The people of Delta origin have issues, and as such, Okowa would have been the last
from Delta
person.
You are from Delta, only, isn't it? Jude, you are from Delta. You are from Delta.
Of course.
Yeah, okay.
So I know what I'm talking about. So the Okowa choice to be the VP might be changed in future. I don't think that would be a choice of Atiku, whom I would have loved to be elected for the 2023. Even though I have some issues behind him, but I think he would have been the right candidate for to be a right choice for Nigeria 2023.
Wow.
Okay, let me just look at it. Yeah, I'm just saying that based on what I know about him, even though he has failed me sometimes, but I think it would have been him that would be, I would have preferred to sit on that hot seat come 2023.
Yes, instead of Atiku.
Yeah, well, instead of Atiku, yeah, I know what I mean. For the APC and for the Labour Party, APC is really struggling, to be honest with you, because of the Muslim issues there. Asiwaju is really struggling. Who is going to come in there? Because he would have preferred to be a Christian somebody. We would have preferred him to choose a Christian.
But if a Christian, I think if a Christian You
then
know, it's
it will
big.
be
That would be like a suicide mission.
suicide mission. Now let's look at P2B. P2B best option would have been from the north, from the core north. But Atiku factor will not be so ideal for the northerners to come out and support him because the north issue, they will not relinquish power. So both three parties are struggling here. There's a problem 2023.
Wow.
So that's where we have to keep our finger crossed. And at the same time, I'm telling you, let us look at it. No one knows what's going to happen because it's going to be like they're going to do a dicey game. It's going to be like throwing dice.
It's going to be dicey. It's going to be dicey.
Yeah. So
we can't really say for sure who is going to emerge. You know,
exactly.
things are just up in the air. You know.
And none of them is comfortable at the moment.
Yeah.
Tony.
Yeah. You said it all. You see, picking Okowa from the South, I should say the PDP is actually denying them or the votes of Southeast.
And 1,000,000%
exactly, because the Southeasterners all along have been voting PDP.
PDP, yes.
And to deny them the two tickets shows vacuum in the advisory board of the PDP and kind of galvanize more votes for P2B. More especially one with the social media, and two, we now have an invisible government that are more powerful than the governors in the Southeast. Who tells them the days they should sit at home? And they obey this invisible government, even when the governor says no. So if this invisible government will stand behind P2B, I can assure you that PDP has lost all the votes in the Southeast. And most probably, some South. The thing is that most of the reorganization, they are trying to really correct some of these anomalies and loopholes where they will lose votes. Because with the alliance that is going on, they're going to survey how some votes could be snatched from Atiku in the northern part. And now, for those even who are kicking against Muslim Christian ticket, I mean, who the current team, Buhari and Oshibanjo, is it not Muslim Christian ticket? Yes. And they won. They are here going to 8 years. So I don't think the issue of Muslim Christian ticket will disturb anything. All we are saying is that from what we are experiencing during the presidential nomination, money played a big role. During the Ekiti primaries, there is allegation now of money playing part, people are selling and all that. That's why prediction is so dicey, because with the ability to buy votes in Nigeria, to rig election, any person putting up a guess, it should just be an academic guess, not that you have any basis to project, because on the ground, they know how to play the game. But they are trying to use the vice president nomination to a running mate to see how they can adjust. And then INEC had to sit up. It appears now from the happenings that we don't have security again, not the army, not the police. Okay, so I don't know who, the security organization, who cannot get those who are assassinating people in our war, Southeast and everywhere. If we don't have enough security to checkmate these people, where is the security to checkmate the upcoming election? So that's a food for thought. Because unless we have a sound security that is well equipped to avoid rigging and replacement of ballot boxes, we are just trying to recycle the normal election pattern that has not been leading us to anywhere. Because if we continue to use the same system, going the same route, and hoping to produce a different result, we are just fooling ourselves.
Mm. Mm. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony. And I think that we just have to continue to pray, for the security of the Nigerian citizens. I watched on the news about these three kids, siblings, whose dad died about, I think some years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So the mom has been taking care of them. Teenage. I mean, yeah, I think one teenager, she is like 15, and they show them, during the burial of the people that were killed in a war, and their mom was actually killed. Their mom was among those that were killed. And that girl was crying with her siblings. You could see that these are kids that are just in need, and that their father died, and their mom has been helping them, has been really, struggling to take care of them. But the mom died, that nobody to take care of them since the incident happened. They were crying, weeping,
Yeah.
So I just pray, honestly, for the safety of lives and property.
In fact, if Kule, if I can just add,
Yeah.
we really need prayer worldwide.
Hmm.
Because in the United States,
I know.
okay,
We think that you
okay, no,
guys caused that thing upon yourself.
no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That
I sympathize,
yeah,
and I am, honestly speaking, I feel for those that have lost their lives. But I'm thinking that until you guys understand what is happening in that country,
we understand.
because I don't see why anybody would want to have an assault rifle.
Okay,
Why would you want to have an assault rifle as a toy in your house? For what?
okay, Kunle.
You
The
see,
same
so
thing, the same thing that is happening to some politicians in Nigeria are still happening here because the NRA
yeah.
control most of our politicians, especially the Republican Party. Most of them cannot
Yeah.
survive without the
Yeah,
lobbying
and
they have. We
yes,
need
yes.
general prayer because what is happening here, why it's so appalling, is that we know the solution, but who will bear the cat? Okay? So we need general prayer. This is just to encourage Nigerians that what is happening around them is happening here. The only major difference is when they are caught. There is no sacred cow here.
Mm.
You commit mass murder, you go in for it.
And you will be caught.
You will be caught. If it is a life
If you
sentence,
don't die, you
yeah,
will be caught and you'll be pressed.
exactly. That's the only difference. Otherwise, if we here, I do tell people, Nigerians and some African countries who are crying foul, that the people they kill in United States in a year is almost 100 times more than what they kill in the whole of Africa.
Yeah.
But the difference is that you commit a crime, you go for it, and hopefully those who are supporting the NRA to be selling guns to teenagers, like currently now, a law is coming into place at least to reduce
Mm.
the age to 21, and then have a correct background check.
Yeah.
Because here, with your social security, once it's in, all your parts will be out. So that's why it's easy to correct anomalies in some advanced countries. but not in developing countries like Nigeria. So prayer is needed worldwide.
Okay, we'll continue to pray. Thank you, Mr. Tony, for that thoughtful submission. We'll continue to pray for our brothers and sisters in the United States and for our people in Nigeria. We just hope that peace will reign, and the elections, the 2023 elections, will go on smoothly without any form of terrorism and whatnot. Yeah, we are nearing the end of today's program. But before we go, let's just briefly, this is for laughs actually, briefly talk about the Father Mbaka Peter Obi debacle. Just for laughs. I don't want us to be serious about this.
Yeah.
Just for laughs. Because, Father Mbaka called Peter Obi a stingy guy, blah, blah, blah. And I think it happened from, an occasion that he expected Peter Obi to donate, and Peter Obi didn't. A lot of people are condemning Father Mbaka, but I have my reservations. I'm not really condemning him. I'm thinking the work of God, you either support it or you stay home. And I know that Tony has his own view. But the good news is that it emerged today that Father Mbaka has apologized to Peter Obi and he prayed blessings on him. And that is the spirit that I am hoping that Nigerians will embrace. That we fall out, let's make up. Because I am in APC, you are in PDP or Labour Party, does not mean we cannot be friends. Because I hurt you today, does not mean we cannot be friends tomorrow. You see, let us promote the spirit of forgiveness, because I believe that, forgiveness, heals. It heals. It repairs. And I just hope that the apology from Father Mbaka is genuine. And because he is a man of God, no doubt, I see what he does in his ministry, is social intervention, and I am kind of encouraged in terms of, wanting to emulate him in terms of giving back to our people. Tony, if you have anything you want to say,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. We should remember there's what we call cultural awareness and cultural competence. It's worldwide. What is acceptable in your own culture and religious background may not be acceptable in other cultures. Southeast is predominantly Catholics. That does not rule out that you don't have other churches. And this is a church that do not force you to pay tithe or offering. You do it willingly. And anytime any person under any circumstance to change the equation, the person going to be lashed out. His apology is welcome. That's why in Cali Church we equally go for confession. When you wrong somebody, you confess and then reconcile. This is what we need in Nigeria.
Thank you.
And we believe that any of the politicians who find themselves for somehow political ambition in the midst of some of these kind of arrangement where we needed assistance for a movement and all that, should realize that you cannot just go there to expose yourself probably for hustle for votes, and you will not do the needful thing to know that this father should be able to help the congregation who always go there, because the social system in Nigeria has broken. If you need to get anything from this congregation, you should be able to sacrifice whatever little. And that is not supposed to mean that if you don't give, that the pastor or the reverend father should rebuke you. But we are happy that Father Mbaka has apologized.
Thank you, Tony, for that spirit, for the spirit of forgiveness as well. Because I know that what the father did, is not something that you really welcome. It's something that you felt so badly about, and I understand. Really, honestly speaking, I understand. So thank you for that spirit. Jude.
Yeah.
Over to you. You are closing for us. We have come to the end of today's program. So, Jude, please, in surmise, Father Mbaka Peter Obi.
All right. Father Mbaka is an activist. He fight for the masses. He fight for the poor. He's outspoken, and all his preaching, all his thoughts are towards the poor. How you can alleviate the poor. And he looked at Peter Obi as one of those people who have made money from Nigeria, and he was surprised to see him not coming out to give anything during that event, and he's not happy with that because all the money would have been given. Catholic Church, they give a lot of give a lot of
money for charity.
And he expected him to give something. And for me, I think Peter Obi would have actually, to be honest, giving something, no matter how small it is, put on an envelope in the box to show that he know that these guys are fighting for the masses. So Father Mbaka, was had to play up as he used to do.
He was emotional.
Yeah, his character. He's the one that he speaks out. He doesn't care who you are. And this is a Catholic priest who live for people. They don't have family, they don't have wife, they don't have children. They fight for the masses. So, and for Peter Obi to take it as an offense, I don't think it's wise anyway, because Father Mbaka don't need the money. He doesn't need the money. If he gives anything to the church, he goes to the church. So, like you said, he has to, as a leader as a representative of God and as a leader, he has to come to Peter Obi to apologize, which makes meaning. But if he didn't apologize, it doesn't bring him down. But he has to do it as a clergy to show that he has the love of God, the heart of God in him. So Peter Obi should know that coming to make it a public issue should not have been at all. Shouldn't have been. If you have to ignore it and say, Father, I'm sorry.
Just to correct this, it was Father Mbaka that made it. Because he was the one that repeated what happened before.
Yeah, but we still had
now brought it again and said, "Don't do for me." Yeah. Just to correct.
Yeah, I understand you. But we still have the confrontation on social media. How both of them were talking to each other.
Yes. And if you remember, I sent you a personal text, or I sent it to the forum. I said that it is an error. Don't engage a clergy.
Public. It's not supposed to be.
Don't engage a clergy in public. And I think that he also assumed that. He assumed that position because he made a public statement by saying that he cannot engage Father Mbaka on social media or in public. So I commend Peter Obi, honestly, for.
But I would have preferred that Peter Obi actually was the one that come on air to apologize to Father Mbaka, because he's assuming a public office, and we are the poor that are going to vote for him. He should show humble. He should be humble.
You guys are moving crossing the red line.
Yes, close.
All we are saying is let's take the lesson from the encounter.
Yes.
And stop blaming any person. Let's take the lesson we learned from this. Yes. Somebody hurt you or injured you, apologize.
Apologize.
If the Fulanis who have been killing people in Nigeria can own up and apologize, the unknown government can own up and apologize and cooperate with the system, Nigeria will be a better place.
A better place. Thank you, Tony. Yes, thank you, Tony. Thank you, Pastor Jude. This is a wonderful, wonderful program today. I so much enjoyed it. Honestly speaking, I am very happy we had it. It's coming late, or it came late, but better late than never. I enjoyed it, and I'm sure you guys enjoyed it as well.
Correct.
Thank you so much for joining today. I remain Mike humble self, Olakunle Lemboye. Mr. Tony Eze from the United States, and Anthony and Judy Okolo from Dublin. Thank you for joining.
You're welcome.
All right.